What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to MZMT Gaming, and it's time once again to go Unga Bunga punch face with Big Monster. That's right, we are showing off Ancient Gear today. This deck is absolutely awesome. It is really fun to play. It is clearly, very much so, Tenpai at home. And we finally got our long awaited card in Ancient Gear statue in Maze of the Master here in the TCG. Now, it is quite a bit delayed because Master Duel and OCG, of course, have had it for a very long time, and unfortunately we are now in Ryzeal and Malice format, and those decks are a little bit tough to play against, I'll be honest. So with this deck, you know, definitely local tops, regional tops, maybe anything higher than that I doubt we can really do with this deck, but still a really fun deck to play, especially if your opponent doesn't read, you just win the game. That does happen a lot anyways, so people don't really prepare for Rogue. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the deck here. Ooh, and the cards are already wanting to fly. First off, we have two of our Ancient Gear Dark Golem. This card is amazing. We don't need the OG in this deck. Just two of this guy is enough, because usually you kill your opponent on the second turn. If you live past another turn, it's going to be a miracle anyways. But yeah, so this guy is amazing. If he's summoned, you can add 2 Ancient Gear cards from your deck to your graveyard, and then discard one. So basically, he sets up your Trap Fusion. You just need 2 more monsters in the grave, and you have game. But, yeah, really good card. A lot of ways to get him out. You want him on the field as much as possible, because both of our fusion spells basically require him being on field. Next, after that, we have 3 of our new guy, our Ancient Gear statue. Of course, everything that we wanted and more, just about. This card, if your opponent controls more monsters than you, you can just special summon it, and once per turn, unfortunately not on a quick effect, you can tribute it to special summon any Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. That means OG Ancient Gear Golem if you play him, this guy, or anything else you may need. Absolutely a fantastic card for Ancient Gears. Then we have a triple Wyvern, and yeah, I know, Italian, but they were cheaper than the other ones I had at the moment. This card is amazing as well. It's a 1-card starter all by itself. It can search you into your advance, which can go ahead and get your combo going that way. Now, it's also great as an extender. If you go ahead and open up your combo, you can just summon this and grab Fortress just to ensure that nothing else you do gets gets interrupted. Now, it does prevent you from setting when you activate the effect, but that doesn't matter who sets its Ancient Gear. We just go punch face. Next, starting off with the one-ofs, we have Ancient Gear Tanker. This card is really cool. If it's normal or special summon, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand, ignoring summoning conditions, or if your opponent controls a monster, which usually they do because you're going second, you can special summon it from the graveyard instead. This is a great way to recycle your monsters that have been destroyed. It's a really good way to, you know, obviously extend into other things that we need. Absolutely a great card. I've sometimes miss it at more than 1, so I may bump it up to 2 in the future, but really for right now, 1 I feel like is more than enough. Then we have our 1 Ancient Gear Frame, because searching is, you always want to have more searching. This does come with a discard, and that does come in handy sometimes. There's one time I had to go in a really weird line with the next card in hand, where that came in super handy for us to win. But, yeah, otherwise it's another starter, basically. Searches any card that mentions Ancient Gear Golem, and you can go ahead and discard a card to do that. So the card that I did discard, that I was talking about here, is our Ancient Gear Commander. This card here, really good. It's really most useful in the graveyard in this deck. If it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to place 1 Ancient Gear trap from our hand to the field. Now, this completely goes around our restriction of setting cards, so that does not bother us at all. You just go ahead and set your trap card to fuse, and your opponent is dead. So it does have some other effects here, unfortunately not really too relevant in this deck because we don't play the original Ancient Gear Golem, but they can come up if you do play that version. Now for the honorary Ancient Gear monster here, and my combo that I call the Princess and the Frog, we have the Frog. This card is there to be summoned off of our Arrogant schedule. You go ahead and summon this and your Golem. Of course you can activate effects, but it doesn't matter because they're both going to the graveyard when they're linked off. Then you can activate him in the graveyard to banish him and special summon a monster from your graveyard that has the same attack and defense, aka our Ancient Gear Dark Golem, and just get your combos going that way. It is a really good card. It does hurt when you draw it. Another one of those cards you can choose to discard with the Gear Frame and still be fine. But yeah. And now for the only other 3 monsters we play here, we play 1 Gamma Seal and 2 of our Jizukirus. There should be a 3rd Gamma Seal, but I just don't know where mine is at the moment. So, I'm sorry, it should be a third Juzukiru, I just don't know where mine is at the moment. Because sometimes we do get machine locked in this deck, so this card is not exactly the best choice. But yeah, these guys are really good at clearing big threats that just don't want to go away. Good way to add a detonator, good way to add anything, non-targeting, just, hey, here you go, have a gift. And all of our stuff is bigger, so we don't really care. Next, for our spell traps here, for Ancient Gear spell traps, we have 3 of our Fortress, and yes, I know, each one is a different rarity, bite me. This card is absolutely amazing. Basically, during the turn that we're normal special summoned, your opponent cannot target, or Ancient Gear monsters cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So it protects everything in that way. Also, your opponent cannot respond to the activations or effects of Ancient Gear cards, which is really, really, really good. The problem is it doesn't say unaffected, so once you've resolved everything, your opponent can still go, hey, here you go, have an Abiru, and that really hurts. But besides that, it's a really, really good card. And of course, if it dies, it floats from hand or grave into any Ancient Gear. Next, we have our Ancient Gear Advance. Really good card with multiple really, really good effects. When it's activated, you search for an Ancient Gear spell trap. You contribute a monster to draw a card, and then if you do that, this turn you can normal summon your big Ancient Gear without tributing. That effect comes up sometimes, but usually you're using it for the first 2 effects. The card that pairs with this really well here is our Ancient Gear Catapult. This card is really, really good, but you have to control no monsters to activate it. So what this does, basically, you activate your Advance, you search for Catapult, you activate Catapult, send Advance, or destroy Advance rather, and special summon any guy from your graveyard. You can also use this as an extender by banishing it from the graveyard, destroying a card you control, say Fortress or Gear Town. Speaking of, that is the next card, and you can go ahead and special summon a token, Ancient Gear token, so that gives you another monster to fusion with. And of course, Gear Town is Gear Town. Everybody knows Gear Town. Say hello to Gear Town. Say bye-bye to Gear Town because it usually gets popped. And this is, of course, what you're getting off of Ballista. And for the final actual Ancient Gear card that's a spell, we have our Ancient Gear Fusion. Lets you fusion summon from your extra deck by sending monsters from your graveyard if you control an Ancient Gear Golem. And of course, remember, Dark Golem is treated as OG, so that's totally fine. For Honorary Ancient Gear spell, we have our Urgent Schedule. This card is absolutely amazing. Like I said, it gets us our Princess and the Frog, as I like to call them, and gets your combo going. You summon those 2, you go into Ballista, and you basically win. It's absolutely amazing. If it doesn't resolve, we still have plenty of ways in hand to keep playing, so it's also ash bait sometimes, honestly. Okay, so then we have for Ancient Gear cards, finally, we have our Ancient Gear Duel. Basically, anything that mentions Ancient Gear Golem or is Ancient Gear Golem is unaffected by monster effects. So a really good way to play into a lot of removal. People just don't pay attention, they don't read. And if you control Ancient Gear Golem and your opponent controls a card, you can go ahead, controls a monster rather, you can go ahead and fusion summon by banishing those monsters. You do have to have a guy in your field, your Ancient Gear Golem on your field, and your opponent has to have something. But yeah, you just banish them, summon something, and it can attack 3 times. Usually you go into your ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, it has 45 attacking, can attack everything, or can attack 3 monsters rather because of this, and that's it. So yeah, if your opponent ends on 2 or less, you go with him. If your opponent ends on 3 or more, you go with the Chaos. But yeah, that's it for the Ancient Gear cards. Now we just have our board breakers because this is a go in second deck. Our triple package of 2 thrust and 1 talents. Of course, these cards are always really, really good. This is more for fetching your board breakers. You can fetch 1 or 2 of your Ancient Gear cards, but really it's more here to fetch these things as well as card cards. Okay. Next, we have a Slayer, which this card is absolutely amazing. You can out just about anything with this, which is really, really cool. I know specifically Ryziel and Photon are now experimenting with untargetable stuff, but besides that, this is still a really, really, really good card. I just wish I had some more extra deck space. I guess I could make some, but yeah, just maybe some better targets. But yeah, still amazing card. Next, of course, we have our Lightning Storm and Duster. These cards are always amazing, of course. To clear anything front row, back row does not matter. And the last cards here are our triple Forbidden Droplet. These cards are really, really good to pair with any of our other board breakers, because you activate a board breaker, they try to negate, you activate this, and send that to negate all their stuff. It's really, really good. So that's it for the main deck here, flat 40. You can play 42 by including Imperm and some other cards like that, but that's how I'm choosing to play it here. Then for our extra deck here, we have one Howitzer here. Howitzer didn't really come up that much. He's a good guy, he can burn, he's unaffected by things. But yeah, really can only come up in time. That's why he's a 1-of. Then we play 2 of our ultimate Ancient Gear Golems, and ultimate rare, of course, because he is ultimate. Yeah, so piercing damage, your opponent can't activate stuff. Yeah, really, really easy. Usually the target we go for trap. Now, for the guy that we use our Ancient Gear Fusion for, we usually go with Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. This card can attack everything your opponent controls. It is unaffected by spell traps, which is hilariously bad, because that means he does not get the protection from our fortress, which really sucks. Because it's so funny. You go, alright, cool, everything's unprotected. But again, you can benefit from your opponent not reading, because they may not realize that that means everything, which is kind of funny. And our last fusion, which I did not make too many times here, is our Megadon Golem. But he can become useful, especially because he floats. So, yeah. That's it for the fusions, and then we have our ballistas here. Ballistas are amazing, really good starter. You get yourself any monster you need, or you get yourself Gear Town to keep playing. Usually you make him after you go Princess and the Frog. The other link we play here is going to be our Little Knight, and of course any of those fusions and any of these links are going to be targets for our Ultimate Slayer. I don't really have anything special for these two. What we do have that's special, though, is our Malong here. If you're going against a Seeker deck, it's basically an out for 2 monsters, because Ultimate Slayer will return 1 to hand, and then this will target something else to return, which is really, really good. For our Xyz target here, of course, we are on our Aggregator. We do play an Abyss Dweller, and because we can sometimes make it, we play a Hope Harbinger. This could be the Photon Lord if you think you need it, but I chose to go with this instead. And our last 2 cards here are one card I currently don't have, but shout out to Luke because he was getting it to me. This is going to be a Merrymaker and our Sargus, of course. You go until 4 into this, 8 into this, to search into a card that we have in our side deck. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get into that next. For that package I was talking about, we do play the 1 Regulus here. This card is an Omnigate, a really good card to have, especially if you're forced to go first. Which this deck can really not do that well, to be honest. But hey, you know, I have won games off of things in our side before. So yeah, really good card. The only other monsters we play here, of course, are going to be our hand traps, which we do play 3 Droll and Lock because this card is really, really good into a lot of decks. And this because fuck Malice, to be honest. Yeah, also, fuck Malice some more. And speaking of cards that can be searched by Thrust, we also play a Dimensional Barrier. So these are our 2 targets for that. And after that, of course, we have our Solemn Brigade. We play Triple Strike and Triple Judgment. So yeah, we really don't have too much for going first. This is really it. You can end on decently a lot if you're uninterrupted, of course. You know, 2 or 3 of these at best. And, of course, your Sargus and SB. But that's it. That's really more than enough. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this build here. Oh no, the light fell down. Oops. You didn't see that, did you? No? Okay, good. But yeah, so that's really it for the deck. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe for more jank decks. And yeah, we'll see you later.